Section 5A, finding the midpoint of a line segment. So we're going to start out with a graph being given. And we're going to start out with number 1, to truly understand what a midpoint is. So we're talking about being given 2 points. If we connect them with a line, we're wondering where's the middle. Now on a grid, the middle is a coordinate. So we're looking for a coordinate. Now, the middle should be in here somewhere. We don't know exactly where it is, but if the formula we have is to take the x's of each coordinate that they give us, in other words, the endpoint coordinates, add the x's together, divide by 2, so we're getting the average of the x's. Do the same thing for the y's. Add the y's together, divide them by 2, and we get the average of the y's. So in this picture, this coordinate would be 4, 4. This coordinate would be -3, -1. So if we take our x's, which would be these two, add them together, 4 plus a -3 divided by 2, 4 plus a -3 is 1, we get 1/2. If we take the y's, which is -1 and 4, again, order doesn't matter here, we're just adding them together, so 4 plus a -1 divided by 2, we get 3 over 2, and that is our x value and our y value of the coordinate. So in other words, 0.5 and 1.5. If we find that on the grid, 0.5 and 1.5 would be right about there. So that is our midpoint. And that's the use of the formula as well. Typically, we aren't given a picture of it. More likely, we're given just the 2 coordinates. But the rule is the same. We would take our x's and add them together. 1 plus a -14 divided by 2. We take our y's and add them together. 7 plus 0 divided by 2, which would give us 1 plus a -14 is -13 divided by 2. 7 plus 0 is 7. So 7 divided by 2, that's a 2 right there. And that can be your answer. If you want to, you can go ahead and do the division and get the decimals, but either way it's fine. But this is our midpoint, if we were to graph it. The one alternative to this kind of question is to be given an endpoint and the midpoint, and now we have to find the other endpoint. So let's look at number 11. So again, for reference, if we looked at this, what we're being given is an endpoint. We're given this one, and we're given the midpoint. And this is the one we're looking for. So we're going to use the formula again, but a little bit differently. Now remember, we're given our midpoint. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the x value and go 4 plus, I don't know what the other endpoint x is. It's just x2, it's our second endpoint. Divided by 2. If we knew what that x was, we would add the x's and divide by 2, and that would give us the midpoint x value. Well, we know that. It's -3. So we can solve this for that missing piece. And we start by multiplying by 2, and we get the 2's to cancel, and we get 4 plus x squared, or excuse me, x sub 2, which is our second endpoint, equals -6. We subtract 4, and x is then -10. So that is the x value of the other endpoint. And we would do the same for the y's. We'd say, well, I know one endpoint y value. I would add it to the other endpoint if I knew it. When I added them, I would divide by 2, and I would get the midpoint y value. Well, we know it is 2. So if you notice here, the same process will be needed. I'd multiply both sides by 2, and that is the common theme for all of these in terms of solving. I have 0 there. That has no impact. So my other coordinate value is 4. So we have an x and a y. So if I were to write it as a coordinate, this is my other endpoint.